Hello, I'm TinaO. I am a story specialist, specifically core story specialist. That's where I light up. That's where I do my best work. It's where we're always going to go anyway. Doesn't matter what conversation we think we're having, that's where we end up. But today, I'm specifically here to talk about your book. So if I just spoke to you, it's because I'm speaking to you. It's your book. And because let's be, really, what if we just threw it all out here? Most of us have a book in us. In fact, probably all of us have a book in us, just not everybody wants to write a book or create a book or give a book. But all of us wants to share, our collective wisdom, our collected wisdom. Because we're here for two reasons, right? We're here to love and we're here to learn. And at some point, the learning gets so full that it just has to spill out into something. Some of us go into speaking, some of us go into writing, some of us are kind of expressors. That would be me, there's such things, a triple threat expressor. You know how there's a triple threat performer, singer, dancer, actor? I've got the triple threat expressor, like espresso. Anyway, expressor. I write, I speak, I perform. It's all there for me. So you have reached a point in your life, in your process, that the wisdom doesn't fit in the library anymore. That a book is only a book if we take it out of the library and we can read it. So where we give it away. I remember I used to work in this place where artists lived, and like visual artists, painters. And this fella came in, he's a painter, and he was telling me about his studio and about where all of his paintings live. And I caught the visual of all these paintings stacked up against each other, leaning against the wall. And I said to him, how does that feel? Like you've poured a story. I don't think I used that language then because it was a long time ago, but you've poured this story, this visual, you've collected, these thoughts and images and feelings, and you've put them all on a canvas as a way to express something, and now they're all lined up, against the wall. Like, how does that feel? It's like this really strange, it just it was like does not compute. Of course it doesn't. As an expressive and I'm hardwired to express, it wouldn't compute to me. And it was frankly enough for him to get it out onto the canvas. But that image really stayed with me, right? Like that's kind of what I'm talking about. If you have a book inside of you, it's because all of this stuff is in here and you might be at capacity and it wants to come out onto the page. And some of you you don't even know what it's about, but there's something. Some of you don't even know, you're like, there's something inside of me that wants to come out, but I don't know what it is. Some of you might have a sense of the essence of what you want to say, but there isn't language for it. Some of you have language for it, but you're not sure if the world wants it or if you want to give it to the world. So one of the things that I do as a story specialist is I have these beautiful VIP days, which is really a place of deep listening for me, where I deeply listen to the story that wants to come out of you. Because the thing about writing a book is that it is deeply personal, right? It's not just about blah, 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 barfing words onto the page. It's why all of us, I'm going to say all of us, has a book inside of us. It's the place where the life that we have lived and collected can live beyond us, and not just in the oral storytelling, but in the written storytelling. But it's deeply personal, and it asks to be held well. It asks to be honored. It asks to be known. It asks to be witnessed, to be understood in all the layers that story is. So in our VIP day together, that's what we do. We spend time, me listening, sharing back what's coming through me, which is really coming through you to me and then back to you again. And together, we bring this story out into the world so that you can see it, I can see it, and then we can give it away. Because there's a very, There's a very concrete process to this story thing. It's called beginning, middle, end. Now, there's lots of ways to tell a story. It's a whole other conversation. But before we can decide how to tell it, we need to listen to what wants to be said in the first place. So I'm TinaO. I'm a core story specialist. And on these VIP days, we're letting your story live. If this sounds of interest to you, send me a little message. We'll book an inquiry conversation and see where it wants to go next. Maybe it'll be a VIP day. Maybe it'll just, I don't know, be an hour. I don't know. The thing about the living story is it tells me. So I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but I do know that the VIP experience is pretty nice. So drop me a message. Say I want to connect. We'll book a session on the phone, complimentary, so I can listen, see what wants to be said. I'm TinaO from TinaO Life, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thanks for listening to me.